For hundreds of years, Waikiki was utilized by Native Hawaiians as a productive agricultural and aquacultural area. And the Waikiki Reclamation Project was a dredge and fill project where the Alawai Canal was dredged in order to centralize the water coming down from the mountains. The main purpose of that particular argument was to justify a massive real estate speculation bonanza at Waikiki.
And this shows the Alawai Canal, which was dredged 2.5 miles long, 250 feet wide, 28 feet deep by Dillingham, and destroyed 6 square miles of highly fertile taro, sweet potatoes, and 38 major fish ponds, and evicted thousands.
I've seen the taro patches. I've seen them do away with the taro patches and build homes in the Waikiki area that we could never afford to live in. As hotels went up, they cordoned off the beaches and told us that we could never go there no more. Those were reserved for the Haole people.
It hurts me because they call us squatters on our own land when they are the squatters. But like I tell my children, they walk in the path of their queen and king that walk this Aina, and nobody has any right telling my kids where they don't belong.
We are the people from this Aina, and nobody gonna tell me I must get out of my land.
Raymond is fighting the classic struggle of the Kanaka Maoli in Hawaii. He's fighting to keep his land. This all started back in 1942 when Uncle Sam decided they needed some bombing ranges around the islands, mostly here on Oahu, and the military used Raymond's property from 1942 until 1974. So in 1984, they looked at the mess, said, it's too big a mess for us. Not only are we not going to clean it up, we're going to steal your land. We're going to put a big fence all the way around it, and you're out of here.
I feel that if we don't do something and stand up against this thievery, then we'll be lost.
By the 1960s, the military controlled more land in Hawaii than any other landowner. At its peak, over 24% of the land in Oahu was either owned outright or controlled on long-term leases by the military. Need a naval base? Take an important fishing area. Need a place for bombing practice? Take a whole island. Need to practice artillery fire? Take 1 valley or 2 valleys or 3 valleys.
Hey, I'd be happy when they can kick the military out of Belos. That's Hawaiian land, and that belongs to Hawaiian homes and public trust under the ceded land provisions. We can kick them out, you know, got lualuale.
Of these military lands, 124,000 acres are ceded lands, one of 2 Native Hawaiian land trusts in which the Kanaka Maoli are beneficiaries.
On this island, they lease considerable acreage of land at the military Puakuloa training area. The lease was $1 for 65 years. The Hawaiian nation has no enemies. U.S. installations here only makes us a target to their many enemies. There is no need for any military presence in our waters or on our land.
Oh, Kanaka Maoli, oh, Aina, oh, Abba, must give the right to control your destiny. Can't you see? Oh, Kanaka Maoli, oh, Aina, oh, Abba, got to stand for your right for Hawaiian sovereignty.
The sand dunes you see here contains thousands of bones of our ancestors, the Kulaiwi, the iwi of our people. The state of Hawaii has violently violated our rights as Native Hawaiians by permitting a golf course to be built here in Waihe'e, right next to the burials of our people.
This land is one of the richest archaeological and cultural complexes on the entire island of Maui. Unless we are able to exercise sovereign control, sovereign decision-making over our cultural, our sacred sites, we will always be at the mercy of exactly the forces that have been decimating us and destroying the land right up to this very moment as we speak. So, thank you.
I think the genius of the Hawaiian movement is that it's very visible. It emphasizes the joy and positive sides of the indigenous culture as well as its demands, and therefore it acts as a kind of magnetic force that draws people to it rather than scares them away.
Aloha. I'd like to welcome all of you to Hana, the breath of life, where you come here to feel the goodness and the love that we always want to share here. That's what Hana is all about.
Recently, our family went to court trying to preserve our right to keep some of these ancestral lands in an area called Hamoa Point or Hamoa Landing. I feel this is genocide when they force the dispossession of a people from the ancestral lands. It'll be a sad day when you look and you see a rich $1 million house in that area with a sign that says, "Keep out."
Hana Ranch is one of the biggies in here that took a lot of the Aina away from the people. Some of the lands were leased out, the kupunas. By the time the third generation comes along, we're not aware of these lands that we supposedly own until it shows up in the paper for quiet title. And when you're in court, they tell you you have to identify yourself before 1779. Who in the heck know about 1779? We have a hard time finding records in the 1800s. We all know who we are. The only problem is there is no document, some of them, to prove who their ohana is. Without that proof, you lose your claim to your land.
Do you believe that this genealogy requirement is a intentional policy to separate Kanaka Maoli people from their land?
Yes, it is.
I'm 17 years old, and I feel that I'm here tonight for all the kupunas here who have worked all their life for justice to be served. And I just hope that with you guys here, justice can be served for those kupunas who are out there who've been living all their lives with the hurt I feel in my heart.
I don't pay tax. So one of my kupunas asked me, and he said, "How come you don't want to pay taxes?" I said, "I didn't say I don't want to pay taxes. I said I won't pay taxes to the illegal government. I pay taxes to my nation. I want my money here on my homeland. That's where I want to pay my taxes."
How long is this fish pond been here? Is it an old one?
It's an old one. It was here from 17th century. In fact, no, 15, I'm sorry. In the 15th century, this was built. Okay, I'm going to give you just a historic background of the fish pond. Yeah? The fish pond, as you see, belongs to an ahupua. Ahupua, this is the ahupua of Walapui. Runs from the mountain. Our way of life was simplicity. We malama the Aina malama us. We take care of our land.
As I say, God had created heaven and earth, and He made this world. He made all nations, and all nations had their own space. Hawaii was one of them, and it belongs to us, the Hawaiian people.